Hi guys, Crystal Cox here, and I just want to visit with you guys today. I haven't done a video probably in a year. I've had a lot going on in the last year, and I don't really even know where to start. There's a lot of topics that I want to cover and discuss with those of you who do like me, and those of you who watch me who don't like me. Again, remember that you can always shut these videos off. And sometimes they shut themselves off, see, and I have to check and see if they're still recording. You wonder if I'm going to do that? Yeah, I'll probably keep doing that because I don't have a really good camera. I don't have a tripod. I've pretty much lost everything due to, standing up against corruption. The Obsidian Finance case is on appeal, as most of you know. I will be discussing what's happened with that. There has been a hearing, and I will talk to you about what affects you all. Not the petty stuff, not really even about the Summit case, or where the money went or any of that, but about the bigger case and the rights of citizen journalists, whistleblowers, investigative bloggers, all of you out there. And the fact that I believe you are media. Every one of you are journalists and media. If you see an event, or you have documents, you have first-hand knowledge, you've worked at a company, you're the one that's in the position to tell me what I'd like to know. I don't want to hear that from some random reporter that's just called both sides and got a piece of, hearsay. I want the documents. I want the videos. I want the facts. And to get the facts, you get that from people who are insiders or people who are eyewitnesses. News by the people for the people. That's where the real media is, and big media doesn't want that. They don't want everybody to be journalists because then they won't be able to control you, and they won't be able to sell you ads on what they call the news. We are all journalists. It's like that book, Scott Gant. We are all media. There's no special license to be media or a journalist. I could get a DBA at any point in my life and have been offered that many times over the last 2 decades to start a newspaper. Why in the world would I put money into starting a newspaper when new media is better, right? So 1,000 blogs is better than a small town newspaper, in my opinion. And in reality, not that my opinion has anything to do with reality, don't get confused. I'm also going to visit with you folks about how amazing it is that I'm the only person in the world that the First Amendment does not apply to, and how that come about. I'm going to talk to you about my own attorney suing me, Mark Randazza. In the name of free speech, he managed to shut down many of my blogs, thousands of blog links. He got a judge to just wipe out links, give him domain names on sites like with names parody, like markrandazasucks.com, randazalegalgroupsucks.com, markrandazzaisanaasshole.com, markrandazza.com, even names that were remotely to do with him, which Mark Randazza spelled wrong. He got a judge with no First Amendment adjudication, no due process, to simply take those names. Now, what happens in a regular legal case like that? They're locked. And then the names are decided through the court case, and then the person will get the names if the courts decide that. Not in this case. In this case, the judge let him take the names, put them in his account, change the servers, direct it to whatever he wanted to, and then relock the names. And where did he redirect it? This was a year ago. No rights to me at all. He redirected all of my hard work, my thousands of links, my search engine ranking, my proprietary abilities to do it, all of my years of a decade, let's see, it had been 12 years I've been working on this network, all of that wiped out because he just told the judge, hey, she said my name and called my wife a slut, so it's a trademark violation. So then the judge gives him my sites and he redirects it to a page trashing, defaming, and lying about me. Apparently this is fine with the judges. I have fought back hard in Randazza versus Cox, and I have been rejected by the courts every single time. Just making sure this is still recording. My sources have been harassed. My life has been threatened. People like Sean Tompkins have messaged me and threatened to come to my town. I've lost my home. I've lost my business. I've lost everything. I have friends that have helped me to survive. Now, Obsidian Finance case did not do this to me. I still had my real estate business. I was still doing my online marketing. I still had a life. Mark Rondazza, who came in to be my attorney in my appeal, has taken my life, my ability to make money, constantly under duress, people harassing me. He's got where Forbes magazine painted me out to be a monster, attacking his children with flat-out lies. He's got the WIPO, which is the World Association of Intellectual Property Association, to publish international publications that accuse me of criminal activity. I've never been under investigation for criminal activity. I filed lawsuits against Forbes and all of these folks that have defamed me, and they just get dismissed. Now, Kashmir Hill, I'll be talking a lot about that as well. She claimed in her Forbes article that I was under investigation by the Oregon Attorney General. I wasn't. I did a Freedom of Information with the Oregon Attorney General, and they said I did not even have a consumer complaint. So this is a flat-out lie, saying I was under investigation, and this is defamation. But, you know, it's Forbes, it's Mark Rondazza, it's Kashmir Hill, so dismissed, right? David Carr, the New York Times, Bob Garfield, NPR Radio. They all lie about me, no proof at all, and defame me, ruin my life, cause me massive damage and duress, and have absolutely no liability. They justify this because they think I've attacked a child, which I would never do. I fight for victims of corruption. I fight for children. They have all lied to me, yes, and about me, and they justify it as if, because they think I attacked Kevin Patrick. Kevin Patrick is a gazillionaire. What Kevin Patrick did in the Obsidian Finance situation, if you really want to read it all, read every court case document, read every transcript of a hearing, watch the videos of his own words, spend years studying it as I did, and then form an opinion of whether I just lied about him to hurt him, or whether I was trying to extort him. You know, I mean, thousands of my own dollars, years of my life to give a voice to the insider, the whistleblower in the case. And then it comes out later that, well, I just did all that to extort him. We're going to talk a lot about why the issue of extortion came up, which was an email that was sent by me to the other side to negotiate a settlement. They offered me 15 ways out of the $2.5 million judgment. I said no to every one of them because they were actually extortion. They were wanting me to do illegal things like blame other people. They tried to steal my appeal through auctioning off my right to appeal. We're going to talk a lot about that. And Mark Rondazza helping David Amon of Tonkin Law Firm to do that. I'm also going to be visiting with you folks about how to file lawsuits, how to file criminal complaints, how to be your own media and start blogs and just massive online presence to expose corruption. Now, I'm not doing this to teach people how to defame and, oh my gosh, she's going to teach everybody how to do it. No, you have documented facts. You have hearing transcripts. You have perjured documents. You have a whole bunch of proof, okay? Now, you take it to the law enforcement and they brush it off. Courts dismiss it. Local newspapers, big newspapers, all the media that you know as traditional media, they don't want to touch it because they'll lose their advertisers. They'll lose political ranking or whatever the reason. So you have to tell your story because you're the only one that really cares about it. Now, I'm going to do tons of videos over time telling you how to do that. Okay, now if the bad guy's off me before I tell you all of that, just research my stuff. I have, let's see, probably 1,400 blogs, and I will continue to build blogs and to expose corruption until the day I die. Even if I died today, all of my blogs and information would still be out there. I have reported the truth to the best of my ability, and yes, I curse. I have a truly independent product. I have an opinion. However, I have reported with my own way on these stories to the best of my ability, and I've done so for about 7 or 8 years now. I gave up everything I knew to be my life. Those who supported me, friends and family, have given up a lot, have been under extreme duress. I started with reporting on Montana corruption. Montana is extremely corrupt. Rape seems to be legal. The University of Montana is supporting stalkers and criminals. It is shocking. I mean, I knew there was a lot of corruption in the world, but I didn't know how bad it was. You know, I didn't know that if you took all of these documents to court and, you know, like with the Summit case, the Obsidian Finance case, I had 800 pages proving one tiny blog post. And the judge threw it all out as hearsay. They had no proof at all that I defamed them. They just had one guy's opinion. One CPA gave an opinion. They paid for that time for the opinion. And then the judge said, well, she has no First Amendment rights because she's not media, even though all citizens have First Amendment rights. So then a judgment against me, $2.5 million. Retraction laws didn't apply to me. So they spend tons of money, of clients' money, court money, just tons and tons of money, and didn't even ask me to remove it. Didn't have to send me a link. When they first filed the lawsuit, I filed something asking them for a more definitive statement. I wanted to know what blog posts, let me know so that I can look at them and see if they're wrong, or, take a look and then I can get hold of my source and see if they're right. They didn't give me a blog post, and the judge didn't make them. I had no idea what blog post I was being sued for. At this time that they sued me, I'd been reporting on them for 3 years. I had thousands and thousands of blog posts about them. I didn't know why all of a sudden some blog post was a problem when they had not even sent me a cease and desist until right before that lawsuit. They sent me a cease and desist December 23rd, 2010, and 2 days later I did a post, Christmas Day 2010, and that's the post they ended up suing me on. So I did that post after the cease and desist, showing what the proof was of what they did do. 3 weeks later, they sued me. And then 5 days after they sued me, or like a week after they sued me, I sent them an email trying to settle, which now the whole world calls extortion. Okay, so there's a whole lot of details that if you want to know, we'll be talking about that. I'll see who emails me some questions on those issues. However, with that case, I'm mostly going to talk about the First Amendment rights, because I believe that the most important First Amendment right out there, there's two. The first one is that it is a First Amendment right. You look at all these people spouting hate, like the Westboro Church. You look at the porn industry. You look at a whole bunch of different sectors of society that free speech, they get the right to free speech, right? But for some reason, anti-corruption bloggers, whistleblowers, people who are exposing corruption in their local area or national, they are denied their First Amendment rights. They are denied free speech rights. They are denied rights to retraction laws. They are denied shield laws. They are denied press passes. Why? Because they're exposing judges and lawyers. They're exposing corruption. It is a free speech right. It is a constitutional First Amendment right to expose corruption. I am media. I am a journalist on what I know or what information comes to me. You are media. You are a journalist on what you know or what information comes to you. You're a better source of it than my case, for example. The AP Press calls me. Hey, what's going on? What happened with your case? Did you this and that? They call these people involved. They put their opinion, a couple of sentences of what each of us said. And every newspaper in the United States and spreads to the world, and everybody does an article on me, and I'm all over every news network from that one person's opinion. How in the world can that be the news? I'd rather it be reported from people who had read it, who had studied it, who knew it, who were passionate about the story. And that's bloggers. That's you out there. You are the media, and you deserve to have equal rights in the courts. And so we're going to talk a lot more about that. The second thing that I believe really deserves First Amendment rights is the ability to talk about natural cures. People get shut down all the time. You look at the Steve Cookie or Cooksey case there on the caveman diet. It's a recent precedent, really amazing. It's really a good thing because they basically concluded that it's your First Amendment right to give advice on healing. So there is a lot of people out there who cure themselves of cancer or are cured naturally of cancer without surgery, cutting out body parts, doing chemo, torturing themselves. And they, the FDA, different government agencies, try to shut you down because they want to keep the money in the cancer industry. Now, cancer has been curable since probably it was first discovered. I mean, the Indians had cancer. It's kind of like the flu, right? Really. I mean, in my opinion, everything is curable. And if some person did it, then why can't you? So why not talk to someone who's done it or experienced with it in their family and not have the FDA shut you down? It should be a First Amendment right to talk about health issues, your experience with health issues, or things that you've researched. And so fighting corruption and talking about the ability to cure diseases are two important free speech rights that don't seem to exist. So we're going to talk about all of these things and lots more. I intend to do a lot of videos. Again, I have taken, well, probably a year off of doing videos. I've had a very, very hard year. Lots of legal action, and you know, I've lost everything, including my home, and I no longer, as of right now, have an income. I have no home that is mine. I've lost everything to this battle of standing up for the rights of citizen journalists and bloggers, whistleblowers, and I'm proud of what I've done. However, it has been shocking. It has taken a toll on my life, that's for sure. It's pretty amazing when you have New York Times, Forbes, Fox News, NPR, all of these people painting you out to be a criminal when you're reporting on judges and attorneys who are corrupt and trying to give voice to the victims of corruption, and they all paint me out to be a criminal. My life has become some sort of a movie. Anyway, I'm going to talk to you folks about all of those things and more. It's good to be back here. I'm glad that you're watching me again, and if my haters are watching me, well, you know, peace and love to you, and I ask that the Great Spirit bless you and fill your heart with love and light, and that the wall of corruption comes down. Corruption ruins lives, and these people have a right to tell their story and to be heard. These people have a right to expose corrupt judges and lawyers and to fight for their children and to fight for their families with the truth. And it should be a First Amendment right to tell your story. You are news, you are the media, and to my haters out there, all I can say is God bless you. Goddess bless you. And I hope that your hearts will fill with the truth and that you will realize that what I'm doing is making a stand for the rights of victims of corruption, because this is a spiritual calling for me, and I've done the best I could. And yeah, sometimes I don't maybe sound right, or I use words you don't like, and yeah, I curse, but I'm very spiritually driven on this mission, and I have been since the beginning. And make fun of me, hate me, do whatever you want, but I send you love, and I look forward to doing a lot more videos. You have a great day, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.